It was almost 8 o'clock. I was starving, but here I was, walking through the woods in semi-darkness, because I'd lost my phone. I didn't realize it was missing until I got back to the car. Because, of course, I had to disconnect from screens and connect with nature and all that crap. Of course, if I were a 5'2" woman, I probably wouldn't have even ventured back in. But I was a big guy and could handle myself, and the phone was really expensive. I was nearing the halfway point of the loop when I saw it. Up ahead, maybe 30 yards, there was something in the middle of the trail. I squinted, trying to figure out what it was. It looked like a tree that had been broken 5 or 6 feet up, but it was in the middle of the trail. It was dark, but there was something lighter colored at the bottom. What is that? If it were lighter in the forest, I would have been able to see it clearly, no problem. But as it was, all the trees and leaves and rocks were washed in dark blues and grays, and everything was melting and blurring together in overlapping shadows. I continued forward, at a slower, more cautious pace. At about 10 yards away, I stopped. It was moving, ever so slightly, wavering back and forth, like it would topple over at any moment, like it was straining to stay upright. I squinted and froze. It was a person standing on their head. The lighter colored thing at the bottom was a pale white face. What the fuck? There's no way they didn't see me. I was only 10 yards away. It wasn't fully dark yet. I turned around and broke into a sprint. That's the bad thing about being a big guy. I was in pretty bad shape. I forced myself down the path, but seconds later I was already breathing hard, my legs aching. "You're going to die if you slow down." I forced my legs faster. Why would they stand like that? It's obviously some psychopath, some cult, something. My train of thoughts cut out as my brain registered on another pale white shape near the ground, just off the trail up ahead, attached to a torso and legs and feet, up in the air. Fuck. There's another one. I veered off the path as I ran past it, hoping maybe with my momentum and it starting from a standstill, it wouldn't be able to catch up. My lungs felt like they were on fire. I whipped around close behind me on the trail were the 2 handstanders. Their faces were so white it looked like they could have been wearing white plastic masks. But in the dim light it was impossible to tell, and they were sort of shuffling after me, on their hands, palms squelching in the mud one after another. One of them appeared to be a woman, long black hair trailing on the ground. My stomach turned, and I forced myself to run faster. I heard sticks snapping on either side of me, getting louder. I couldn't look. I knew more of them were coming out of the woods. I'm going to die here. That's the price I put on my life. A $1,000 iPhone 16. That's how much my life is worth. Snap, 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 snap. I screamed and forced myself to run faster. The parking lot was just up ahead, maybe 10 yards away. I could see my car, alone, in the parking lot. Almost there. My foot hit a rock, and I careened to the ground. It felt like the earth was slamming against me as I made contact. I gasped for breath. A sort of excited chittering sound came from above me. This is it. This is how I die. Something grabbed my arm, clawing into it. I scrambled back up, forcing myself to move. Sharp nails tore into my forearm, but I pushed myself forward. I don't know how I did it, but I got back to the car. Blood was dripping down my arm. I started the car and peeled out of there. But before I left the parking lot, my headlights swung across the trailhead. There were several of them there, watching me leave, standing on their heads, palms pressed against the ground, feet in the air, snow-white faces and pitch-black eyes staring right at me. I only saw them for a split second, Then I was screeching back out onto the main road. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button. And if you want more nightmares to keep you company at night, subscribe to the channel, because the next horror story might already be watching you.